is Bayhead, New Jersey.
And although there was warning and mandatory evacuations, many residents still weren't prepared for this kind of destruction.
This is the bay in our backyard. It's crazy. I mean, you look around and you just...
I knew they said it was going to be bad, but we didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Siblings Meg and Robbie Williams are walking down what's left of Johnson Street here in Bayhead, New Jersey, moving their valuables by kayak after Sandy turned their house a block from the beach into a waterfront property.
The stairs from the boardwalk are at our house right now. Our garbage, we have a big garbage thing. It's in the neighbor's yard right now.
Floating around.
People's fences are gone. I mean, you can look down the street. Normally there's the barricade at the end of the road there. I don't know where it is.
You can't see it.
I mean, normally there's this big thing. I mean, so this is just crazy. We're just hoping the water goes down.
The water is running through the streets, and police officers are making their way by boat, rescuing those who rode out Sandy. This is a storm that the Neswickies will never forget.
It looked like, just like the pictures of the tsunami. It just flew down. It just kept flowing and flowing and flowing. It was the scariest thing I have ever seen.
Right now, the community is assessing the initial damage in amazement.
Seen down trees, sand everywhere, houses all, majority have fallen down. Couches in the street.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like this in my life before, and I'm worried for just friends and family and what everybody's going to do after the initial cleanup.
The next step is putting lives back together, one step at a time. Well, let's bring you into our breaking weather alert system and kind of run down what's been going on here. The active activity out there is still associated with Superstorm Sandy. In fact, the top line says strong thunderstorms now approaching Boston from the south. Rain warnings out for the Boston Harbor, severe winds in excess of 50 miles per hour. So Sandy is not yet done, although our severe weather expert says after tonight, things should start quieting down.
You know, we're still trying to get the full scope of some of the damage and new information coming in. We now know the death toll from Sandy has risen to 44 deaths blamed on this incredibly large and intense storm. A lot of updates coming in from New York City. Marine Parkway Bridge, we understand, will reopen in New York City. A lot of folks getting around by buses right now because of the subway system.
Yeah, not a complete bus system up and running as well in New York City. And also, New Jersey is still taking the brunt of this superstorm. Emergency crews are still rescuing dozens of people trapped by floodwaters in Toms River, New Jersey.
And we talked about the subways, and they're not fully operating. That's because of what you're seeing right here. The MTA station completely flooded. Look at this video. Kind of looks like an area that is, not in service, that has been shut down and abandoned maybe for years. But you can imagine how long it's going to take not only to pump out the water, but to get things operating again and clean up these subways.
And this is why the MTA closed the subway Sunday night, because they were fearing the worst and hoping for the best. But unfortunately, some of the worst actually did happen. When you have a salt water infiltrating some of the subway lines, as Jim Cantore said earlier, once it evaporates, you have salt crystals that could definitely impact how the wires run, how circuit boards run as well. So it's not just a matter of just evaporating the water. This could have some long-term damage where it could have to be replaced instead of just repaired.
Speaking of long-term damage, this is Long Beach Island, New Jersey. Brian Norcross, our senior hurricane specialist, has been analyzing some of the video for us, and you can see the damage that has been done, reshaping the coastline in so many areas. You've got water coming in and sand coming in, inundating the homes here. We even saw an amusement park, the famous roller coasters there in parts of New Jersey out, in the water, just fully underwater. It's unbelievable for people living in New Jersey to see this.
And take a look at some of lower Manhattan here again. The surge water is coming on through. That's not a good idea. You're going through this water. It could be salt water. Salt water, if it messes up the subway, it's definitely going to ruin and corrode your car as well. You can see areas of lower Manhattan, some of the buildings are sandbagged, but again, that's doing nothing to the floodwaters that have inundated a good chunk of New York City.
Looks like people are picking up some of the debris, maybe trying to claim some of their own items. These are the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Another indication, a testament to the size of the storm. This was the first area to be impacted. Those boats all smashed together. In some cases, you see boats in streets where they should not be. Take a look at these aerials. Just incredible how much water's in this area.
Yeah, Outer Banks got hit twice with a ocean flooding.